The time is 4:30 p.m. The Pelican Rapids City Council meeting of 29 July 2025 is called to order. I ask those in our council chambers, if you have not signed the clipboard by the back door, if you'd please do so before you leave this evening. And also everyone, please put their phones on vibrate. Roll call of members. Danielle?
Councilmember Steve Strand.
Here.
Councilmember Shelley Elminger.
Here.
Councilmember Kurt Markgraf.
Here.
Councilmember Don Perrin was unable to make it, and Mayor Brent Fraser.
Here. Want to welcome each and every one of you here in our city council chambers this afternoon. Also those joining us by Zoom. Remember, our city council meetings are on the Pelican Rapids YouTube channel and also on channel 14 on Wednesday evening. Just a few announcements for the next couple weeks. This Saturday, August 2nd, is the fly-in and drive-in at the Pelican Rapids Municipal Airport from 8 till 11 a.m. On Wednesday, August 6th, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. is the Household Hazardous Waste Collection Day at the City Garage. That's 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And our next City Council meeting is slated for August 12th, 4:30 p.m. here at the City Council chambers. Any other announcements? Any other announcements? Hearing none, if we all please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Item number 2 is citizens' comments. I do not see anybody in the audience this evening for citizens' comments unless someone has anything to comment on. Hearing none, we'll move on. Item number 3 is additions and deletions to the agenda, and I have a few additions if you want to get your pen ready. Under item number 4, approval of the consent agenda, I'd add item number 4D is Minnesota PFA bond payment of $975,776.77. I'll read that again. Item 4D is Minnesota PFA bond payment of $975,776.77. Item number 13 is the budget committee. Item number 13 is the budget committee. Item 14 is council meeting time. Item number 14 is council meeting time. And item number 15 is joint powers agreement. Item number 15 is joint powers agreement. Any other additions or deletions? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve the agenda with those additions?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Motion second. Discussion? 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 Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carried. Item number 4, approval of the consent agenda, which I will read. Item number 4A is approval of council minutes from July 8th, 2025. 4B is approval of accounts payable listing. Item 4C is staff report. Excuse me. 1 is utility report for June, which is in the packet. 4C2 is liquor store report, which was in the packet. Item 4B is notices of intent to certify taxes. That is item 4B1 is 520 North Broadway, parcel number 76000990654000, amount due $412.87 unpaid utility bill. Item number 4B2 is 501 Southeast 2nd Avenue, parcel number 76000990479006, amount due $412.20 unpaid utility bill. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Motion second, discussion? Discussion? Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carried. At this time, we're going to recess our city council meeting and go into our public hearing for tax abatement, and the time now is 4:35 p.m. So we'll recess our city council meeting. Remember, during our public hearing, we cannot make any motions. We have to take that back when we reconvene our city council meeting at that time. So it's tax abatement public hearing for Southeast Carlson lot, which was in your packet, and there's a resolution attached to that. Lance, do you want to talk to that, please?
Neil wants to.
I'll talk about it.
Okay.
This is the southeast lot that Mike Carlson, that the city had sold to Mike Carlson. And he had asked for the incentive of tax abatement on the lot. And his reasoning was, as the developer, he's taking a risk. And he's hoping as that somebody would be more interested in buying it with this incentive on it, because the tax abatement would get passed on to the buyer of the home. It's over 5 years or 5,000, whichever comes first. We've done this for, I think we've probably done it for 5 or 6 different homes in town now.
Yeah, it's nothing new.
Builds, yep, that we do. And so it's, I would say, been quite successful. Are there any questions?
Any questions for Danielle?
I move to approve resolution.
We can't do it.
talk.
Sorry.
Any questions at this time before we adjourn our public hearing? Any questions? Is there anybody online to speak to this? No. Okay. Any questions before we adjourn? Any questions? Okay, hearing none, the time is 4:38 p.m. We'll reconvene our city council meeting, looking at resolution 2025-17, approving property tax abatement.
I move to approve.
Is there a second? Motion second. Discussion? 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 Hearing none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carried. Thank you. Item number 7 is parking easement. We have Tyler off here from Pelican Valley Health Center, and that easement was in your packet. It was in our packet the last city council meeting when Tyler was here, and he gave us some time to look at it, but we want to take some action this evening at this council meeting. Tyler, the floor is yours.
Good afternoon, thank you all. I don't have a lot. I just have a follow-up from the last council meeting regarding the permanent parking easement. There was a question, there was some discussion on the required number of ADA accessible spaces and what that means. So to kind of recap, we're looking at a 24 stall parking area just to the north of the pool. Again, multi-use, so we're requesting that 8 of those stalls be specifically for Pelican Valley Senior Living residents and family parking. The additional parking spots are really just open to the public, first come, first serve. And estimated timeline for completion will be next year, 2026, late summer, early fall, 2026. So that's the estimated timeline for completion. Did look into, prior to this meeting, I had looked into, and from my understanding from our civil engineer, we are not required to have any ADA parking stalls in this area because it was less than 25. However, just now brought to my attention that there may be the need to have one ADA stall based on some recent information that was just shared by Lance here today. So from our standpoint, we are planning to have ADA parking stalls located right next to our building, so we still do not feel the need for us to have any ADA stalls. However, if the city would like a stall that's closer to, that kind of either could take it off of the street or closer to the pool entrance there, we can certainly do that. One ADA stall would remove one or two parking stalls. So if we had one ADA stall, it would reduce the total capacity to 23 stalls. Not significant, but certainly an option. Any questions for me further?
Lance, when will we know that answer?
We can clear, I mean, so we were looking at this portion here, and it says from 1 to 25, we need one accessible space, van accessible space.
So that is the
It
answer.
doesn't really need to be decided tonight. It's whether or not you want to move forward with the parking lot. This can be, I mean, whether or not it's required or not, do you want one in the parking lot? Does the council want that ADA accessible spot near the pool?
I think there should be one. I'm pretty sure
Because
we would find that it needs to be anyway.
we have a signed handicap spot right in front of the pool on the street, but
It's not included in the lot.
not van accessible either, really. I mean, I don't think it would be considered van accessible at that, when you're out in the street like that, but yeah, it would just take up these two spots is all.
And I think it would certainly curb any future problems about having to unstripe that, paint it blue, stick a sign in the ground.
Right,
Just do it right
right.
away.
Be more economical to add it now
Yeah.
than have to do it later.
So I believe we would want to adjust this easement with that in there as well, and then just send that back over. Does that sound okay? Okay. We'll make that change so that we include one ADA,
Okay,
one ADA
okay.
stall
And if you want, you can even mention that that'll be the one.
in that.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, very good. Appreciate it and look forward
Okay,
to having this here.
do we have a motion to approve this?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Second.
Motion second, discussion?
Discussion would be just with approval
Yeah.
upon the amended agreement.
Correct. That's okay with the rest of the council? Any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tyler.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Item number 8 is Pinewood Estates pay request number 4.
Yeah, this is for the Pinewood Estates development. It's a request in the amount $11,485.73. It's just work that's been done. It's not completely done yet. There still needs to be a second lift of asphalt on, which was kind of pushed back until probably the end of August, first part of September. This will be finished up completely. So this is just the pay request. It's not the final yet, but, and this will, Otter Tail County, it's basically coming through the city, but Otter Tail County is paying it, so.
I'll make a motion to pay the pay request.
Second.
Motion second, discussion, discussion, discussion. Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carried. Item number 9 is lot split, southwest portion of town. Lance?
Yeah, so if you remember I think it was last council meeting where this property down in the southwest off the old Fergus Road, so this in the blue was all one property. The owner wanted to split it off into two. They kept this yellow portion and they sold off this red portion. So now the new owners of this red portion would like to split it and into these two lots. So the planning commission discussed it last night and recommend approval. Any kind of questions?
To the red boundaries, you say?
Yeah, so yep.
And those are, the land between the boundaries are future,
Technically, right now, there's still streets, dedicated streets.
Okay.
So at some point, they might get vacated or whatever, but in that case, it would just be each adjoining property would gain half of that street, so.
Councilman Strand, you're on the committee, any comments?
Yeah, it seemed fine to me. Hopefully we'll have houses down there.
So we're looking for a motion to approve the lot split.
I move to approve the lot split.
I'll second.
Motion second, discussion, discussion, discussion. Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carried. Item number 13 is Budget Committee. Over the last few years, the Budget Committee has included an administrator and then two council people. Myself and Councilman Steve Foster was on the committee, and he's no longer on the city council, so we're looking for another council member. And Lance did send out an email to everyone regarding that. Did you get any reply?
I know Shelley expressed some interest in being on part of the committee, so.
Okay.
Yes.
Perfect.
Put your hand down, Kurt.
Oh, no, I did not want my hand up. I've been on that committee.
Any questions, Shelley?
No,
Okay.
no questions.
So we're looking for a motion to approve the committee as a whole, appointing Councilman Gummeringer and myself to the Budget Committee. Correct, Lance?
So moved.
Second.
Gotta
Motion.
get this one shut down before anything
I didn't even
changes.
get the words out of my mouth. Motion second, discussion, discussion, discussion. Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carried. Congratulations.
We'll probably be reaching out, mid-August to start talking about the fire department budget, so.
Yeah.
We'll start with that one and then go into their general after that, so.
That's good.
Okay, thank you. Item number 14 is city council meeting time. We've run into a snag as far as scheduling city council meetings. One of our council members, Mr. Don Perrin, 4:30 is starting to become problematic to him as he has lost his pharmacist there, so he has to stay at the store during that time, and we were looking to possibly change our meeting time. Lance, do you have anything to add to that? Or suggestions, or?
Well, I know Don said, yeah, he works until, or he's gotta be there till 5:30, so he was requesting like 6 o'clock start, but open to suggestions I kinda thought even if we started at 5:30, by the time he got here, he'd be here by the time any kind of decisions were made, or 5:45 start, and it would be technically probably temporarily, but until he finds someone maybe, or, 'cause it sure seems like a majority of people like the 4:30 start, but,
Yeah, I pushed for 4:30 so we could enjoy outside, but
That's coming to a close, though.
Yeah, so, but I want Don.
Yeah.
It's no fun to repeatedly come into a meeting late
No.
after it's
So
started.
whatever he wants is fine.
What do you, what was the top priority of that list?
6 PM.
6 PM?
He was thinking 6, so
Okay.
give him time to get here, but
Okay.
And then caveat is if he gets the new pharmacist and is able, we can revert.
Right. Someone like to make a motion to change our meeting time from 4:30 to 6 PM?
I'll make a motion.
Second?
Change the meeting.
Second.
Motion second, discussion?
Do we have to pay overtime now?
Yes.
Well, I mean, it's comp time, so. Only to me.
Just you?
You don't get it, and you don't get it,
when Brian's here,
Brian.
but he normally is anyway, because they're done at 4:30 anyway.
That's a bummer.
Any more discussion?
We'll let the budget committee worry about that.
Okay. I told you should ask questions.
There you go.
Hearing no more questions, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carried. Item number 15 is Joint Powers Agreement. We have our Chief of Police, Todd Quaintance, here this evening to speak to that, and he has 8 minutes.
Thank you. Copy. So you want me to talk slow? Yeah. Thank you, Mayor, Council. You have in front of you a joint powers agreement. My request is going to be, after I explain it, that you approve the joint powers agreement pending any changes that Lindsay comes up with from the attorney's office. So the joint powers agreement, and I don't think there'll be any, but the joint powers agreement is a agreement between Pelican Rapids, the city of Pelican Rapids, and Otter Tail County Human Services. There is a co-response, a coordinated response model or unit that exists that right now currently involves Otter Tail County Sheriff's Office, Fergus Falls Police Department, and Social Services. The idea of the co-response, it allows, or the joint powers agreement, it allows us to be able to share information regarding mentally ill individuals and work those cases together with them. Otherwise, we kind of have our two separate bubbles that aren't really communicating very well. This is a way for us to work more as a team approach on these cases. It satisfies some of the needs as far as data that would go back and forth. The co-response team or the coordinated response team does meet twice a week through conversations with the county. They're open to the idea of one of them being digital, online, virtual. There we go. I knew I'd find the right word. And the other one would take place, again, once a week at either, I don't know which one they're talking about doing virtual. There's 2 meetings, and right now one is held at Fergus Falls PD, and one is held at the Sheriff's Office. They're both in Fergus Falls, so I don't, 2 different locations. I don't know which location they're talking about doing virtually, but the expectation is that we would be able to send somebody to that meeting once a week, just to team incoming cases, communicate, make sure, and then they'll come out if there's somebody that we need to work with in town. That's the extent of our involvement, is those meetings. Everything else is jurisdictionally here, that we aren't co-responding to incidents in Fergus or other places out in the county. It's just, it allows us to be able to meet and share that data. after you approve after you approve the joint powers agreement, it would go to the county board for them to approve, and then we'd be able to start the process. They extended this offer probably 4 or 5 months ago. I went to a meeting and just been slowly building to this point. I believe Perham is also working through the process, and they're going to join the joint powers as well, which doesn't really impact us other than the fact that there's one more person in the room and we have our meetings. Any questions about the joint powers?
So not every city in Otter Tail County is part of this?
Nope. No. It's just an opportunity for us to better serve that element of our population
Right.
that might have some mental health needs. Yes, because I can say, I know the meeting that I went to, the Battle Lake chief was there, and I haven't heard if the other two chiefs have had any interest or not. Geographically, they're Henning and Pelican a little further away, so that might be their reason not to. As I discussed with Lance, the virtual meeting, obviously, that's easier to attend to make sure that we have the resources available for somebody to be at that. If there's a situation where we don't have another officer on other than myself, I won't be going to Fergus to go to a meeting. I'll stay here, and just obviously we have to cover our community first, so, and they'll understand that.
How do you share information?
So if we get sometimes it can be, as I sat through one of their meetings, they're all at the table. You're reviewing calls that have come in regarding mentally ill individuals. What steps have taken place so far. It's being shared at the table because, in fact, populations move around quite easily, and in fact, the other communities might encounter those people. So once the data has been shared, you can come up with a team approach on how to address that. So, and they've had some very creative solutions to some problems, and that we're dealing with people in crisis and to try to mitigate some of their crisis. You know, I mean, you're not fixing the mental health issue, it's the crisis that they're in that we're trying to mitigate. So, and that's really what they're counting on, is us bringing the current, because we have the people that we encounter on a daily basis that might, their struggles might not be getting to the point that the county is even aware of them. And until it's at a level that they can be aware of it, we can't share that data either. I mean, if the crisis isn't such that somebody is in danger, we can't share that data just to share it. So there's limitations on what we can share. So this would kind of allow that to happen. Get the data to people quicker.
So I'll ask a question on behalf of the Budget Committee. Are there any dues or fees?
No. This is, I mean, really, the joint powers is being established, not purely because there are our responsibilities, there's responsibilities of the county, but when you read through them, they aren't anything that we're really having to do. It's really more, it's facilitating that ability to share data. There's really no cost other than my time. Or Sergeant Iverson's if he's the one that gets sent, but that's kind of the plan.
Questions from the council? Blanche, Danielle, do you have any comments?
No.
So we're looking for a motion to approve the joint powers agreement with the county.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion second, discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same, motion carried. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you, Council. Again, this is the same agreement that Fergus entered into with the county, so I don't imagine there's any glaring issues. If there are some significant issues, we'll bring it back.
Okay,
So,
thank you, Kyle.
Thank you.
We'll go up to item number 10, Administrator Report. Lance?
All right, since last meeting, attended a department head meeting. I met with Danielle and Brian and Marie and discussed the responsibilities associated with the MOU there at the library. Met weekly with the ordinance committee. Attended the weekly 59-108 construction and public meetings. Attended an Otter Tail County community check-in meeting. Met with Courtney Roth of Otter Tail County Land and Resource Management about Otter Tail County accepting the Water Conservation Act responsibilities within the city of Pelican. Attended the Coalition of Greater Minnesota Cities regional meeting in Detroit Lakes. Danielle and I met with Tammy Amdahl of Northland Securities and Justin Reppy of Kutak Rock about the long-term financing for the 59-108 project. Met with a resident in the southeast about an ordinance issue. Attended the Viking Library System 50th anniversary open house in Fergus. Attended a safety committee meeting. Attended a planning commission meeting. Attended the Otter Tail County Transportation Plan Advisory Committee meeting in Fergus Falls. And then Kurt and I met with LELS union reps today for the first negotiation meeting. And then Danielle, Todd, and I met with Sid Fossen and discussed some rental property stuff. Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you, Lance. Item number 14, Mayor's Report. A few items here in the last 3 weeks since we had our previous city council meeting. I attended a function at the library. It was called Blooming Banners by Budding Artists. And those are the banners you see on Main Street that were done by Viking Elementary students under Kate Woolover Martinez's class. And then attended the Pelican Fest Parade here on July 12th. Attended street construction meetings here, a couple of them on the 17th and 24th of July. Produced 3 street videos, construction videos with Jordan Grossman, which are online. Attended a annual meeting of the Partnership for Health at the food shelf, and they also did a visual walk, or not a visual, excuse me, they did a walk of the streets of Pelican Rapids, and Tom Pace from MnDOT was also present, and he pointed out some of the amenities that we have now, and there was many questions as far as specifics, and he was there to answer those. Facilitated 2 street construction public meetings at the library. Attended that Viking Library System open house in Fergus Falls on the 18th of July. Went out to the ultralight fly-in at our airport on Saturday, the 19th of July, and the attendance was down a little bit this year, but not much. There was pilots from Fergus Falls, Park Rapids, Idaho, Texas. They come from all over the country. It's a great event, and it's an economic boost to Pelican Rapids because I was told this year nobody brought any food, so they all came to town to eat. So, that was wonderful. Attended an ordinance meeting here on July 23rd. Also, Administrator Roysum and I attended a team meeting with the architect for the youth center, the old Congregational Church. Met with the CEO of Lake Region Electric last week. Just an informative meeting. Attended Music in the Park last week. Conversations with the mayor was held last Friday at the library. Attended an emergency management summit meeting here at City Hall with Chief Quaintance, and then yesterday Administrator Roysum and I planned the council meeting for this agenda for this afternoon. Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we'll go all the way back on the agenda to item number 6, legislative session recap, and we have our own Senator Jordan Rasmussen from Fergus Falls here to give us a recap of your last session.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and the City Council really appreciate you fitting me on the agenda today, and also am available for questions as well, or any feedback that the City Council has from the legislative session. I would say that there's a couple big takeaways in terms of impacts to cities from this session. One bill that I authored and was one of the lead negotiators on was this year's capital investment bill. we passed a $700 million capital investment bill that is fairly unique in my time in the legislature in that it didn't have any specific earmarks. And one benefit of that was we were really able to prioritize the dollars towards core infrastructure needs that cities and counties have, including $291 million that will be going into local road, a local bridge, wastewater, drinking water programs that cities oftentimes utilize. And so as the council is looking at infrastructure needs in the future, I would say if you have a project that would be before the Public Facilities Authority, whether that's a wastewater or drinking water project, now would be a good time to seriously consider. And I'm happy to work with city staff or any of your contractors to take a look at those projects. In addition, the local bridge and the local road improvement program will also have an infusion of cash that will be likely have a request for proposals later this year, and MnDOT will be taking a look at different proposals and hopefully awarding them into 2026. I would say additionally, and this is something that doesn't directly impact cities, but it definitely impacts property taxpayers in the city of Pelican Rapids and across Ottertail County. We had one budget proposal this year to shift $460 million in human services cost from the state budget onto county budgets. And just from talking with Ottertail County commissioners and their staff, that would have increased property taxes across Ottertail County anywhere from 5 to 9%, depending on the property. And that just would have been ongoing for forever and wouldn't have resulted in additional services being offered to residents here in Ottertail County. Thankfully, as the Republican lead on the Human Services Committee, we were able to come up with alternatives to that $460 million shift and found bipartisan agreement to eliminate that in the final Human Services budget. And so, as I continue to hear, as I'm sure you hear, questions, concerns, especially from individuals that are on a fixed income about property taxes, that was one hit that was avoided earlier this session. And then lastly, I just want to talk a little bit about the budget situation. We started this session with a $6 billion deficit, which is very different than the $17 billion surplus that the legislature had back in 2023. While some of that budget deficit has been addressed, the state of Minnesota still has what they call a structural imbalance, which is a fancy way of saying the state every year is still spending more money than it's taking in a tax revenue. And while they might be able to do that for a few years, in the long run, that doesn't work in the state of Minnesota. Unlike the federal government, thankfully, we can't borrow money for our operating costs, and so it effectively has a balanced budget requirement over time. And so I would say as we go into the 2026 legislative session, which will start in February, we'll see what the economic picture looks like, but at least the latest numbers that we have right now would show that we'll continue to have a deficit, and so there'll be a lot of competition for any budget dollars that are under consideration. And lastly, Mr. Mayor, just wanted to say appreciate the City Council's leadership and partnership. It's been been fun to look back when I was first elected to the Minnesota House in 2020, and there were all these projects that were in the pipeline, whether it was removing the dam or the major road infrastructure, water construction, talking about the pool in Pelican Rapids. And it's really rewarding for me, and I hope it's rewarding for you and the council to see just in that period of time how much investment has taken place, both local dollars and state dollars, here in the city of Pelican Rapids. And I hope the residents will find benefit from those investments for years to come. And so I appreciate the opportunity to partner with the city council on that. But happy to stand for any questions, complaints, concerns, and appreciate the opportunity to talk with you today.
Any questions? I know when the state was talking about making that financial shift from the state to the county, there was a public meeting in Fergus Falls. Was there much follow-up after that from constituents?
Yes, we had a lot of constituents, and I would also say we had especially Otter Tail County, they really took a leadership role down at the state capitol. They sent Commissioner Kurt Mortensen to come and do a press conference with me at the state capitol to talk about this county cost shift. We also had Nicole Hansen, who's the Otter Tail County Administrator, come down and testify in front of the Senate Human Services Committee to talk about what it would mean for Otter Tail and for other counties. And so it was very good to have their voices down at the Capitol as well and working with other county commissioners. And I think that attention is what created political pressure to shift off of that county cost shift idea.
Well, thank you for your participation in that public meeting in Fergus Falls, and also thank you for the lead you've done in a lot of projects that have affected Pelican Rapids, and especially a aquatic center, the money that you gathered for us for that, and appreciate the work you've done for us. Any other questions? Well, thank you, Senator. Thanks for coming up and addressing our city council. And
thank you, and I just wanted to pass along, and hopefully you've heard this feedback as well, a lot of excitement around the aquatic center, and I've heard in particular it's appreciated low-cost swimming lessons, and I've heard they've been very oversubscribed. And that's a great thing to have when you have young people have the opportunity to learn how to swim, especially here in Lakes Country. And I also want to say I appreciate your Chief of Police for attending a public safety roundtable that I recently held in Furnace Falls with law enforcement and prosecutors from across the area I represent. So it was great to have your Chief of Police participate in that public safety roundtable. So thank you for sending that.
thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks, John.
Seeing no other business, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Meeting adjourned.
I guess start at 6. When does that start?
6 PM?
Yeah.
The next meeting.
Oh.
All right, hopefully it'll just be temporary.
Yeah, hope you find somebody to